Coming up on Mountain News this morning, the search for a Kentucky woman who's been missing for more than 7 years continues on a farm owned by the man she once dated. And organizations partner up with Governor Andy Beshear to bring awareness to different kinds of tolls domestic abuse can tragically take.
Dedicated to Eastern and Southern Kentucky, this is WYMT Mountain News this morning.
Alrighty, 5:30 to you. I'm Dakota Makris. Good morning. It's Tuesday, and a lot of y'all, if you've already been outside, letting your dogs out, or just opening up the front door, I don't know. It's cold. Let's head over to meteorologist Cameron Aaron. Cameron, you made it cold, buddy.
Yeah, it's pretty chilly out there this morning, so be sure to grab the jacket. And some people are waking up to a few snowflakes out there as well. Not everybody, but a few of us are. Let's go over to I-75 this morning. I-64, excuse me, that's over in Moorhead. You can see we are quiet at this location right now, but we did have a few showers earlier this morning in terms of snow showers. Nothing sticking to the ground, though. Temperatures are above freezing over in Moorhead. 34, 35 in Irvin, 32 in London and Manchester. We are below freezing for Clintwood and Wise. Clintwood at 29, Wise at 30 this morning. Up on satellite and radar, most of us are quiet but cloudy, but you can see a few of those specks of blue over McKee, or just to the west of McKee over Jackson County, just to the north of Mount Vernon near I-75 in northern Rockcastle County. So you could see a couple of snow flurries this morning, all of us included in a freeze warning until 10 a.m. this morning, as more chilly temperatures are going to continue. A breezy day, a chilly day, a cloudy day, all the above. Be sure to grab the jacket. Temperatures only reaching the middle 40s. It's going to feel even cooler once you factor in the wind. We could see wind chills in the 20s and 30s this morning, so be sure to bundle up. I have your full forecast coming up in just a little bit. Dakota?
All right, Cameron, thank you. Well, Krista Rogers disappeared on the 4th of July weekend in 2015. More than 7 years and several searches later, her family is still searching for answers. Investigators say her boyfriend, Brooks Houck, was the last person to see her alive. The FBI recently went back out to the farm owned by his family. Federal agents have been involved in the case since 2020, and they've been to this farm before. It's a place where Rogers was last believed to be alive, and a place her mother, Sherry Ballard, still feels the need to search.
It's such a huge farm that, you know, it takes so long to go through something like that. And just, I guess as a mom, in the back of my mind, I'm always thinking, gosh, you know, could she still be there?
Well, the farm spans around 250 acres, and so Ballard says she won't be happy with it until the moment her daughter is found. And a man died on Monday while working at the Smithfield Foods plant in Middlesboro. The Bell County Deputy Coroner says 61-year-old Mark Allen Tapp was working on a machine when his clothes got too close. The machine pulled him in and ultimately killed him. Smithfield Foods released a statement on Monday saying, quote, "We are deeply saddened to confirm the loss of a team member following a tragic accident at our Middlesboro, Kentucky facility today. Our thoughts and prayers are with the family and friends of our co-worker. We are grateful for emergency personnel for their rapid response and will support a full investigation of the matter," end quote. His body was sent to Frankfurt for an autopsy. Our media partner WRAL reported that Smithfield Foods plant was closed while an investigation took place. A 911 dispatcher in Powell County was arrested during the weekend after deputies say she was drunk on the job. Shauna Staton was reportedly heard speaking on the radio Sunday afternoon with what sounded like slurred speech. A deputy was the one who heard her, so he went to the dispatch center to check it out. The deputy said when he got there, she had severe slurred speech and had a glazed over look and smell of alcohol. Stanton reportedly failed a sobriety test and was arrested on charges of alcohol intoxication in a public place and official misconduct. An arrest citation revealed Stanton had a blood alcohol level of .193. That is more than 2 times the legal limit. Whitley County School District officials say a 17-year-old student was arrested Monday morning for bringing an unloaded handgun into Whitley County High School. Another student reportedly told a school resource officer and school administration about the gun. School officials posted a statement to Facebook saying, quote, "As parents, this is one of our greatest fears. We need to feel confident that our children can go to school and be protected while they are there. Please discuss this incident with your children and emphasize that it is against the law to bring weapons of any type to school. Also, please emphasize the importance of telling a school staff member if a weapon is suspected of being at school," end quote. And the district has set up a tip line on its webpage where reports can be made. A school bus was involved in a crash Monday morning over in Mingo County, West Virginia. Officials with the Mingo County Board of Education say the crash happened during the Mingo Central morning run at Sulphur Creek. First responders said no students or staff were injured. There were 12 students on board bus 1829 when that crash happened. A former Kentucky Justice Cabinet Secretary is facing a rape charge. A grand jury indicted John Tilley. An arrest citation states that on April 15th of this year, Tilley had sex with a woman without her consent at a hotel in downtown Lexington. Documents reveal the woman was reportedly too drunk to give consent. Tilley's arraignment hearing is scheduled for October 28th. And October is Domestic Violence Awareness Month, and advocates say the abuse people face isn't just physical. Sometimes the mental and emotional abuse is just as horrible. Our Phil Pendleton has more on what the governor and people had to say about the important issue from the Capitol.
Among the many pushing more awareness of domestic violence is Darlene Thomas, who says she witnessed a horrific act when she was just 12 or 13.
And he drug her down the middle. It was a muddy field, and he drug her through this muddy field. And I didn't do anything.
But neither did the dozens of others there, mostly adults. Now, years later, she's part of an organization providing shelter and help to abuse victims, Greenhouse 17. She believes there's much more awareness and action from that abuse.
We've come a long way in this society of being able to recognize and understand and support survivors. We still have a ways to go. But we are getting there.
Part of acknowledging how this type of violence works is that it is not all physical. It's the emotional damage that abusers can cause. It's the financial control that can be levied upon.
Those who work with survivors say that it's not just the bruises or battering that leave marks or signs. What cannot be seen sometimes is just as bad, if not worse, than a hit or a slap.
Another survivor said he kept all the money. That's part of how he controlled me. I was a waitress at a local restaurant, and when I came home every evening, I had to give him all my tips.
Domestic violence presents itself with a lot of challenges. A person could find physical freedom, they could get away, but would they have that financial freedom, as abusers often will have a way of controlling all the money coming into a relationship. In Frankfort, Phil Pendleton, now back to you.
Well, Governor Beshear says 45% of women and 35% of men have reported some form of domestic or sexual abuse from a partner during a relationship. Well, Monday was a big day for Laurel County Public Schools. The district's new police department was sworn in yesterday morning. Officers on the force come from different police backgrounds, with officers having at least 20 years of experience each. District staff says the police force was just another step to keep students safe.
We've had a lot of positive feedback, we're very thankful, we're very glad, and as a parent myself, I share that sentiment.
The police department will have an officer staffed at each school across the school district. Kentucky Attorney General Daniel Cameron says the University of Kentucky violated the Open Records Act. Kelsey Soto breaks down the Attorney General's ruling.
Attorney General Daniel Cameron says the University of Kentucky recently violated the Open Records Act by not responding to portions of a record request. Michael Abate is outside general counsel for the Kentucky Press Association and says this ruling sends a clear message.
These are state-funded agencies using public money. It's their responsibility to respond timely to open records requests. These are the public's records. You know, they don't belong to the football coach. They're the public's records, and the public has the right to access them.
The request for records was filed on September 7th, seeking copies of emails, text messages exchanged between head coach or associate head coach of the football team and two private individuals, as well as any tweets.
It's not hard to figure out if there have been communications, between two people on one hand and another two people on the other hand.
That's the same day Mark Stoops retweeted Kelly Craft's campaign for governor announcement on his official university Twitter account. The school responded that the request for, quote, all emails is, quote, too broad. It did not address texts or tweets and asked the individual to provide a time frame for which they believe the communication took place.
It is a crucial tool for knowing what public servants are up to, and as the courts have said, if they are indeed serving the public's interests rather than their own.
According to university HR policies and procedures, employees shall not, in their official capacities, including instructional responsibilities, engage in political activities. Governing regulations also indicate that the university cannot endorse, support, or promote any political candidate. WKYT also found an email from Daniel Cameron's campaign for governor sent on July 13th, in which UK Police Chief Joe Monroe endorses Cameron's candidacy. In Lexington, Kelsey Soto, WKYT.
Our sister station in Lexington, WKYT, reached out to the Attorney General for comment, but we're told he was unavailable. UK has 30 days to appeal the decision in circuit court. A UK spokesperson says they were still reviewing the ruling and says they are committed to transparency on these matters. Well, in August, President Joe Biden announced the details of his student loan forgiveness plan, and now those seeking assistance have the opportunity to begin their application process. Anyone seeking student loan forgiveness can now apply through an online portal. Those with the Biden administration say although people can begin applying, applications will not be processed until student debt relief site launches at the end of this month. For people like Ren Little, who had to leave college because of costs, well, says this opportunity is a game changer.
The amount of people that I know that are from this area alone that have had to leave college due to cost, that can finally get back out there and feel like they have more opportunities or just continue what they're doing and not feel as weighed down by the debt. It really means a lot to know that everybody can do that now.
In order to be eligible for student debt relief, you must have federal student loan debt and your annual earnings must fall under a certain threshold. Well, just ahead this morning, fans of a famous rapper can now take a stroll down a street named after her. We'll have that story and more in just a few minutes.
Plus, we are chilly this morning, but we are looking at a warm up by this weekend. I have your full first alert forecast coming up.